Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. And today we are getting into this brand new Lego set 75436. This is the Mandalorian and Grogu speeder bike. So I do believe that this is inspired by the new movie coming out, even though you can think of this as his old speeder, but just a revamped version of his old speeder. Obviously it comes with the Mandalorian and Grogu. You can see the box art there. And there you could see what looks like to me tattooing on the back. I like that art on the back. He's got his little, it's not his pram, but just a little seat that he can sit in. And you can see here. Now this set goes, so I'm gonna have a link in the description down below for Amazon. This set goes for $9.99, 10 bucks pretty much. And that's actually pretty good, because there aren't too many sets that are normal sets that are at this price range, unless they're like a microfighter or something of that sort, which I have no problem with those as well. But can I open this without doing that whole thing? Let's see. Nope. All right, I feel like these things get harder and harder to open all the time. I don't know why, or at least if you try to open them without doing the crazy dent thing. I did try to stick my thumb in there and it didn't work because it's the set is too flimsy for the resistance. So we have two bags here. So it's a pretty simple build. So I think what I'm gonna do for the first time, because normally I don't do this, is I'm actually gonna just build this on camera because it is so small. So let's grab a few of these things out of here. And of course I can't even get the regular bag open. All right, we got our two little piles here. And whenever I do my builds, I always just take them in, if there's like two bags or whatever within that one bag set, like say if it's a big numbered bag, you gotta say bag one on the bigger sets, and it's got two smaller bags in it or a extra small bag in it, I will, here goes your cape, I will often just keep them separated, because I find that when you are building, it makes it a little easier, because they often arrange it where you'll have certain things in one bag and certain things in other bags. Usually the smaller pieces are separated, but in this case, a lot of these pieces are smaller. She's got the face, which is great. There's been so many figures of this, but I feel like as they keep making new ones, they get better and better. Here you can see some of that shadowing on the side of the helmet. So I don't know, I got to compare it to my older ones, but this one might be the best figure I have yet. I'm not really too sure. And he's got his little pistol. He comes with two pistols. I love it when they give you extra when it comes to actual things that you can use, because tend to always run low on these things. Or if you lose them for another one of your figures, now you have an extra for them to use. Double blasters. Let's see where Grogu's body is, right here. You can see there's really very few pieces on here, but what's nice about this is, it's, even though it's just got 58 pieces, it should be, it will feel like a substantial build for being just this amount of pieces. So I think that that's pretty good. And I never bought the previous set, but from my understanding, this one fares pretty well with that one, the other speeder that he came out with when all the Mandalorian sets were coming out back then. But the only reason why I didn't get that one is because at the time I didn't even have the Razor Crest. I didn't get the Razor Crest till a lot later on, because I was waiting for it to go on sale. It wasn't a new, by the time I got into it, it wasn't a new set, so I had no reason to rush to try to get the rush to go purchase it, because it wasn't new. But the thing about it is I'm sorry, getting lost in my thoughts a little bit. Thing about it is that one, I don't know if that speeder actually fit inside the, and I have this off screen here. I'm going to bring it into screen in a few after I'm done with the build, the play scale Razor Crest. I don't think that it had fit in that one, or at least if it did, it probably was extremely tight fit. Whereas that speeder, I think, fit inside the UCS version. Now, matter of fact, I'm sorry, you guys, I have this at an angle where you guys can't really see that I'm building it that much. So let's see. Now, that's the thing about it. And I'm not sure if that's the case, if it fits inside there or not, but you know, that it definitely would have been crammed. This one's a lot smaller. And so I think it has a better scale to the play scale Razor Crest, which we're going to see in a moment, because like I said, I have that slightly off screen, and I'm going to bring that into view once we finish this build, which I am obviously building very slow because I'm talking. Now, this is where we're at right now, and I believe this is the little pram that we're about to start building up, maybe. Not pram, but if I say that, then you know that that's what I mean. No, this is supposed to represent a little bag, the sack that he puts on the side, where the other one actually had like a actual mini scale little sack on the larger speeder. But once again, someone has done a comparison before and said that scale wise, this actually is like a little more better in scale and universe, which is kind of cool. Like, still could have gave you that sack piece and it just would have been oversized, at least just for that portion. But so question to you guys, are you guys excited about the new movie coming out, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, or what are your thoughts? Are you worried? Because obviously Star Wars at this point is like very hit or miss. You don't know what you're going to get. Is it going to be good? Is it not? It's kind of the space that we're in right now. So just curious to know what you guys think of that. How do you guys feel? I'm hoping that it's decent. Sorry, you guys, got a bit of a cough out of nowhere. I don't know why, but let's see, 2 of these. I'm hoping that it ends up being decent, but we'll see what happens. But I do hope we get a lot of good Lego sets because of it. One thing that's interesting, and I had said it on a lot of my older posts, just more on my viewing posts. I have a different username, if you'll call it that, as far as just when I'm just casually just looking at stuff versus my channel name here. And I would always say that the Razor Crest is coming back. And I always knew that this is way in the beginning, like when it first got blown up. I always knew that because at that time, as I was getting into that space and, you know, seeing the Razor Crest, the Lego set, then the UCS version, the play scale version is what first came out, then the UCS version, and then just seeing other kind of things like I've put on this channel before. I forget the name of the line right now. I'm having a brain fart, but it's micro something. It was like these kind of smaller kind of, I started right at the beginning of the channel, these smaller kind of Star Wars sets. I forget what it's called now, micro fleet, something like that. You guys can mention in the comments, or I'll probably mention in the comments at some point. But I forget the name of it, but anyway. And they had that version too, like the Razor Crest for that. And Mission Fleet was the name of it. And I had showed that on the channel as well. And so, I'll make sure I have the right orientation for this. And I knew then just the popularity of it, that ship was so popular. I was like, they're going to bring this back at some point or another because it's too popular. This became the newer generation's Millennium Falcon. It was just that big, that popular. So I always said that. And sure enough, it is back as far as what the previews have showed in the movie. The one thing that I will say that I'm not sure of is, are they going to now make another play scale version to go along with it? Now, granted, that would make them money, but at the same time, too, I don't know how many people are going to buy it because this one didn't retire. I have the play scale one right beside me. The play scale one didn't retire for, what was it? I think it was like last year. Not 2025, but 2024. We're just getting into 2026 right now. So, and so in my mind, I honestly can say, I don't think that they would necessarily do another one. They could, but then for that, you should have just not retired the other one. Now, granted, they could be slightly different. I think there is some different colorway on them, but is that enough to bring back a whole new one with a different colorway? Like, I don't know. So it's curious to know, are they going to end up, like I said, making a new one? Sorry about that, you guys, when I was building this up. I hope you guys were able to see it. Yeah, so here we go. This attaches right here. And I heard that this is pretty sturdy, and the way it connects together actually looks like it would be, because you have a top connecting point and then the lower connecting points. So that actually looks like it's really good. And that is it. That is the build. Now, one thing that was quoted as being a negative from another content creator was the fact that you cannot get him to hold the handles. So it's just more of like a visual thing, which, to be honest, I'm fine with that. Look at this right here. It actually looks really cool. That's supposed to be the little sack, his like little knapsack that he puts on there in the show and whatnot. I'm gonna guess that this is for, hold on. This right here on the back is for his pistol. I was just gonna say it'd be great that he has something to hold his pistol, and they do. So that's great. Let me just try to angle it in a way where it works. So there you go. That's cool. We're gonna throw Grogu in there. Now, everyone probably has 100 of these figures. Oh, one thing before I continue, I was just looking at the instruction booklet, and I just wanted to show that there, the stuff that's coming out. I think that that's really cool, but it is pretty expensive. How this one's $10 and that one is like $35, I think. And people have talked about how it actually is in a correct scale. It just looks really big, but when you actually look at the whole thing, like as far as from in universe, it's like that kind of size. And I know no one really likes the mechs, but what's great is most people always put an alternative build for a mech, and you could turn that into most likely a speeder, and then that actually works really good. So here you see this here like that, and like I said, he can't grip the handles, but at the least you can kind of bend these a little towards, and it has that look where it's almost touching. So I actually really like that. I'm fine that it doesn't touch, I'm sure someone could actually mod this too. If you wanted to, I know this might be crazy. If they gave me an extra one of these, I could extend it even further. And I'm sure, excuse me, I'm sorry, hiccups. I'm sure most people have extras of these. So if you did, it probably would extend to the point where he can grab it. So let's actually see that 1 second. Try to extend it as far out as it can. I mean, you gotta twist his hand a little bit. It definitely it's not easy, but let's see. And of course, I made him sit on his cape. Okay. So there you go. So if you get an extra one of those, you can, it might make it look kind of funny that that thing's so extended, but nonetheless, you could do that. And it's work to get him to sit in it. But if you're just doing this for the purpose of posing, I wouldn't suggest it if you're not going to pose him, if you're going to play with it. But if you're doing it just for the purpose of posing, you could do that. Put the extra piece there, and then now he can hold it like that. So just make sure don't push it all the way in, because it can go further down the further down the tubing, because keep in mind that this one can go as deep as that one, because these have holes, the rings, and then that doesn't. So it always hit the base of that. So you got to keep it fully extended outwards. But yeah, so that's that. I think it's really cool, you guys. So sorry if the video seemed really long, but let me know what you guys think. I think it's definitely worth the purchase. For $10, you can't go wrong. If you just want to throw this on your desk or something like that, I think it's really cool. So yes, I'm sorry. We're not done with the review. If you want, the review can be considered done now. If you're done, you don't want to check anything out, this is just me going to bring in the Razor Crest, as I said, and just do that little, we just want to see. Let's throw that inside the back over here out of the way. We got a couple of extras. Like I said, I'll probably end up, knowing me, I like to stick extras on things just for the sake of doing it. I just like doing that. That's just me. It makes things feel a little more gritty sometimes, and a little more like just parts in different places. So that's just how I do. Let me take him off of here for now. Slide this thing inside there, and of course it doesn't want to fit. There we go. Like I said, I'm just a fan of doing that stuff. So, you know, you guys obviously don't have to, but that's just me. Yeah. Wait, can I? No, that's not going to work. I was going to see if I could slide that on there. Yeah. So that's fine for now. So anyway, let's see if we can get this to slide in there. All right, just had to change up our view a little bit so we can get a little further low. And it's a little crowded in here right now. Let me take some of these things out. I got the figures that came with it inside here. You got the Grief Karga, you got, what was this guy's name again? I forget what the droid's name was again, something 11, IG-11, is that it? And obviously we got Mando inside the cockpit area already. Let's just see how well this fits inside there. Now I've got, let me remove this really quick. This is my, I don't have the weapons off on that top area. I made like a little gun rack here, a little cheap, easy to make gun rack. It wasn't nothing crazy, but I just did that because I wanted his guns kind of, you know, similar to how he's got his little locker in the show, his little gun locker. So this actually, at this size that it fits in, I gotta say, I am pretty sure that the other one, I don't have it, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure it didn't fit inside this, because there's no way. Let me take some of these panels down so we get more light coming through from that end. There's no way I would imagine that the other one would have fit in here that well at the size of this. So this is perfect. So if you guys have the Razor Crest, buy this. $10. That is a great fit. Like if you want to, you know, put it in there. Because like I said, I think the other one had fit in the UCS set, not in this set, if I'm not mistaken. Someone can put in the comments down below if they know and they have both. I never had the other speeder, but at the size of this being smaller than the other one, this one doesn't even have a lot of room, but at least you could fit in there. So that's something where I think is great to be able to do that. One thing I've seen people had do with the other one before, and I can't remember if that was on the UCS one or this one, they had put it in reverse upside down and they had it attached to the roof to kind of make it a little bit more, you know, like that. But whatever you want to do with it, the point is that it fits. So I think that is a great look that is the case and that it fits. All right, you guys, so that's the end of the review. Sorry that it took so long, you guys. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.